Size matters. So today we are going to move the Polaris back to my house. I've been working on it at my property, and I don't have power out here. We got it loaded up on the trailer. You can see it there. It's kind of sketch, but it'll be okay. Let's get it delivered to my house and unload it in the garage so we can start doing a little work to it. So. That worked. Woohoo! So we're going to take this bed off. It's in my way, and I want to take it off. So let's do it. So we got it off. There's so much more room for activities now. So I hate working around things. I absolutely hate it. If it makes my life easier to take it off and so it's not in my way, I'm going to take it off. Even if it's a little bit more work, because just the added frustration of working around it constantly will make me mad and frustrated. Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to take off one more thing to make my life easier. Is I don't know if you can see in that shot, but this piece right here, just so I don't have to reach in and out of the that's where the ECM is located, the engine computer. So I can take all this off. They're just screws. I got a bit on my drill, so I should be able to whip those out, and it shouldn't take too long. There we go. There's just so much more room to party in down there. So, and then, like I said, when we pressure wash it, we can wash everything. I like things to be clean. This bothers the crap out of me. Next, we're gonna take all these junk wires that someone wired up. There's a junction block right there that someone put up. So we're gonna take off all that crap. It's just easier to have it off. I don't need it. I hate when stuff's done like that. If you're gonna do it right. So we got this junction block right here, random wires, all these wires. You know, some of the, we'll get it cleaned up. Wire nuts. You're gonna put a wire nut on something that gets wet every day. That's smart. Not every day, but you know. You can't tell me you're not gonna drive this through a creek. We have a wire, that same yellow wire that went to that junction block goes up into under where the hood is. I don't know where it goes. I'm gonna find out though. Wired in a switch. or something. Also, these little, I don't know what you call these. I hate these too. Absolutely hate them. You can not splice, but tap into a wire, like either to a ground or a power, but they're not waterproof. It just, I'm gonna get off my soapbox here real quick. I think the majority of that DIY wiring is gone. There might be a few, but we can get to those when we find them. All right, so let's get this fuel tank, the pump installed in the tank. Here's the new one. I got it from Amazon. The reason why I got it is because the old one looked like this, and it was in the bed. So obviously that's not gonna work. So it should be a pretty straightforward installation. It comes with a new cap and everything. Feed it right on in there. Put the O-ring on. There we go. That's pretty simple. Get this fuel tank installed. Just slips in here. There we go. We'll get everything hooked up on the tank and then we'll bolt it in. Size matters. I've been diagnosing the Ranger back here. I got a new ECM for it, and when I connected the ECM to start out with, I had power, but it instantly flashed away. I'm like, mother trucker, did I just blow another ECM? So I had another project I was working on, so I kind of just been reading wiring diagrams on this, just studying them every night. And finally I was like, well, maybe the pin tension on the ECM terminals, and that was fine. But what I found was, I'm like, well, maybe I'll look at the ECM and maybe the pins in the ECM are bent or something. I know it wasn't a new ECM, but it was a like new ECM. So I went to look at the pins. So this pin, I'll point it out with that third run from the bottom row, it's pushed in. That is the pin that I need to work. It's what grounds out the coil side of the fuel pump ignition coil relay. I need that to ground so it'll work that relay. If it doesn't work that relay, I don't have power to my ignition coil, and I don't have power to my fuel pump. So that is an issue. So hopefully I don't have to dig into this ECM. It's glued on the back, and I really don't want to break into it, but if I have to, I will. All right, so now that I figured out that the pin was bent in the ECM, I am getting spark, but it is still very erratic. I've had the flywheel cover off before to look at the pickup coil. I'm going to pull it off again, and I'm going to ohm the wires out. I'm going to look at the wires and see what we got. So here we are. This cover is really easy to pull off. To make it easier, I pulled the fuel tank off again. Again, that was only held in by 4 bolts. So just a lot more access. You pull it out, it comes right off. So here's the pickup coil, and like, it doesn't look like anything's wrong, but you can see someone has been probing these wires right here. So I mean, they're still there. I might check the wires going back to go back straight to the ECM. And so I'll run a test on that and report back. We're gonna pull this flywheel off. I got a puller. All right, let's see if this will. Take that baby off. No. So one reason I think it might have weak spark is all this rust. Ow. Get it all nice and shiny. There's a couple of rust spots, but I don't need it to be perfect. I just need it to be semi-rust free. So let's get that installed and see if we have spark. There we go. There we go. Moment of truth. Let's see if we have decent spark. Oh, I didn't get it on video, but I told you guys I was replacing the ignition pickup coil. Well, I didn't think I'd get it today, and it showed up on my doorstep, and I installed it. I still got to do some finishing touches, but let me show you the spark now. This was our problem all along. It's never sparked like that. That is such good news. That made my day. I was getting pretty defeated, honestly. Like, I was at my last end. So let's let's put it all together and see if it'll run. That is the first time I heard that thing run. So we ran into one more issue. Hopefully it's the last issue. The injector wasn't working. So I got everything put together, everything wired, and I went to start it up. I just wanted to see if it would work. And I have good fuel pressure, but the injector, it wasn't. I had power and I had control to the injector, but the injector is just rusted shut. So I got a new injector off of Amazon for like 10 bucks. So I'm going to install that and see if the thing will start up. This goes right in here. Ooh. Doesn't sound horrible. Let's start this beast up. We're gonna bleed the coolant system, and we're gonna see if it'll pull out of the garage on its own power. I am, in my opinion, done with the Polaris. I got all the everything mechanically fixed. I've drove it. It drives perfectly. Now I'm going to do a cost breakdown of what everything cost me. So I bought this Polaris Ranger 500 EFI 2012 from a Copart auction, and I paid $2,500 for it. It was a lot rougher. I bought it sight unseen, and it was a lot rougher than I expected from the photos. I could have went and seen it before the auction, but I was lazy and I didn't. If I had went and seen it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But that being said, I bought it. I spent the money, so I decided to get it running, get it up to snuff. So I spent $2,500 on the Ranger. For all the parts, I spent $240. And the breakdown from that is I replaced the fuel pump, that cost $65. I replaced the ignition coil, the spark plug wire, and the spark plug, and that kit costs $35. The ignition pickup coil, I had to buy 2 of those, and it cost $20 total for that. I replaced and rewired the map sensor. That cost $25. I replaced the fuel injector, which was the last thing I just did. That cost $10. I replaced the air filter. That cost $20. I changed the oil in the filter. That was $50 for the kit. And I also replaced the coolant, and that was $15. For a grand total of $240 in parts. So for the $2,500 cost of the Polaris and the $240 for parts, that was about a total cost of $2,750. $2,750. That's the total I have into this. Honestly, I think I'm going to sell it. We want a 4-seater golf cart, 1 for our neighborhood, and 2 if we go to any RV spots. I think that's going to be the plan. So I'm either going to see if I can trade this or sell this. I don't like trading things, so I'll probably end up trying to sell it and buying a new 4-seater golf cart. That's the plan. But yeah, it was a fun project. I had never owned a Polaris Ranger. I'm very familiar with them because at my old job we had a 4-seater 800 Polaris Ranger about the same year. So I was very familiar with them, working on them and stuff like that. So but this concludes the video. If you guys would like and subscribe to my channel, that'd be amazing. It helps me out and helps me grow. It gives me encouragement to grow. So thank you. That's it.